Hey everybody, this is Josh Jackson, aka Inu Joshua with Geekscape.net and Geekscape Games, back once again with another unboxing video for another collector's edition that I'm really excited about. Soul Calibur has been one of my favorite franchises for a very long time, so I was really looking forward to checking this one out, especially since Cassandra, who's unfortunately not in the game, but she's one of my favorite characters, and this one comes with that fancy Sophitia figure. So it's like close enough, you got the sisters going, so without further ado, we'll get to unboxing it. So the first thing we see when we open this huge thing is another box with some other boxes in it. So we'll just work our way through it. First we have the art of Soul Calibur 6. Now this is obviously going to go through a lot of the concept art, character profiles, as most art books usually will. Much like the ones that we've gone over in the past, it has the costumes, concept art, like character profiles, portraits, and all that. And it goes through the roster, which, if anyone's unfamiliar, Soul Calibur 5 tried to do a time skip where it got rid of a lot of the original characters and replaced them with younger, newer versions, but nobody really liked that. It ended up being a disappointment for a variety of reasons outside of character roster. So this one's bringing it back with a lot of characters from the period that most people thought was the best period of the series, which was between Soul Calibur 1 and 2. So that's why, briefly flipping through it, you see a lot of characters who have been in the series for a long time and they don't look too different. Of course, when the game's in motion, the power of the current gen makes it look better than the series ever has, and it's always been one that's been considered kind of top of the line graphics wise. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar or if you haven't played it in a while and you're wondering why a lot of these characters that we are briefly flipping through are like characters that you've seen before, it's an intentional decision since, again, they tried a new cast, didn't work, so now it's more back to the basics. And then next we have the normal copy of the game, which is kind of strange because for as expensive as this collector's edition is, you would think it would come with the normal deluxe edition, which released as a separate release, which comes with a season pass and a steelbook. But it's similar with Dragon Ball FighterZ. The deluxe edition came with the season pass, but the collector's edition, which is more expensive, didn't. So it's an odd decision, but you know, as long as you have the game, that's kind of the best part. And you still get a steelbook, which is what we're going to show next. So here's the steelbook that comes with this edition. I'm not completely sure that it's the same steelbook that comes with the deluxe edition. It could be different. But as you can see, you have Soul Calibur stabbing Soul Edge on one side, and then you have Soul Edge getting stuck into the ground on the other side. There's a lot going on in there. And what we have when we open it is an audio, like one of those Christmas cards or whatever, or birthday cards where when you open it, it plays a sound. That's what this one's supposed to do. Not sure why it didn't play this time. Let's see if we could mess with it a little bit. Oh wait, here's a tab. Or maybe that tab is what's supposed to trigger it. Who knows? We'll mess around with it a little bit. But inside it, rather than the game, is the soundtrack, which is a combination and compilation of different songs found in the game. Soul Calibur has been really good with music in the past, so... Oh, there you go. There's a button on the back with a bunch of those different souls and swords eternally retold. So, if you're a fan of all the overdramatic, corny lines that they play at the beginning of the menus and the matches, you can listen to them to your heart's content, even when you're not playing. Take the box with you. Put it up to your ear on the bus, in a car, on a long ride, just to be welcome to the stage of history repeatedly, over and over. Now, with this collection, you can be welcome to the stage of history as much as you want, wherever you want. But, of course, we have the main event of the set. And Namco Bandai's been really good with their figures. And as I mentioned, I'm a big fan of Cassandra and by extension Sophitia, so I have high hopes for this one. But on previous videos, well, not videos, but previous collections that I bought that I didn't do videos for, they've always delivered with the figure. The Tails ones that have released in the past, for Tales of Xillia especially, 1 and 2. The Dragon Ball FighterZ one that came out earlier this year. Like, they're usually pretty solid, so I'm pretty excited for this one. This one's supposed to be 1 foot tall, and look, from the outside of the plastic, it looks like it delivers on my expectations. And this, again, was the main reason that I'm getting the collection. Not even for the game, not the steel book, but for this. Oops. All this plastic flying around. Alright, so you may be wondering, where's her sword? Her sword is still in the box, which is actually kind of surprising. Usually their figures come completely intact and don't have a whole lot of input required to set. So there you go. You can get a good look at that. You have Sophitia's trademark sword and shield, forged by the Greek gods themselves. You got her new outfit, which to go along with the rest of the new outfits in this game, there's not a whole lot in the realm of clothing. And even I've been playing a review copy for a couple days, and even some of the characters who normally aren't scantily clad are wearing a little bit less this time around, which is kind of funny considering a lot of games are scaling back at that, but they decided to double down with Soul Calibur. But as you could tell, the base has quite a bit of detail, both on the sides and at the top of the base. You have her weapons, which you can kind of, hopefully can see the detail in that, because it looks really impressive now that I'm actually looking at it in person. And yeah, it looks like a dynamic wind pose where her hair is kind of flowing, her ribbon's flowing, her clothes look like they're all in action. And just overall, oh look, I have a cameo for my cat. And overall, I think it's a solid purchase if you're a big fan of collecting figures, especially for Soul Calibur fans. And after it's been such a long time since we received a new Soul Calibur game, if you're going to invest in something like this and you're a big fan of figure collecting, you absolutely cannot go wrong with it. I'm really, really happy with what this looks like. It's about 1 foot tall, and with the sword it stands out even more. And yeah, this, again, if you're the kind of person who invests in these collector's editions but we're on the fence about either the game or the figure or the box itself, the collector's edition I'm really impressed with, more so maybe with any of them that I've had this year, just based off of quick first impressions. And the game, from the part that I've played of it, has corrected a lot of the mistakes of part 5. It has 2 full story modes, both with a create a character and with each character on the main roster. Then you have the typical online features, create a character, which isn't that much further expanded from 5, but it still gives you quite a few tools to make a variety of appearances and kind of tack on other characters' movesets onto them to kind of give those characters their own personality and flair. And yeah, overall, I should be posting a full review on Geekscape soon. But before we go, I have one more surprise, and that's because I pre-ordered the game at Best Buy, which gave us a special 3-inch Talim figure to come with the set. And if the camera's moving at all, it's because my cat's trying to get my attention and is rubbing on the screen, so shush her away a little bit. But for Talim fans like my wife, getting it at Best Buy was an absolute must. There's a story involved with this. I had to go through a lot of trouble to get this figure, multiple trips to Best Buy and lots of phone calls, but in the end it was worth it, because considering how small it is, she does have quite a bit of detail. Her tonfas, aside from being slightly bent, look pretty good. Her outfit with the tassels on the hips, I feel like it's a really good representation of what Talim looks like in the game. You know, she's been a longtime fan favorite since she debuted in Soul Calibur 2, and what better way to compliment the Sophitia statue with another minifig of one of the more popular characters in the game. So with that, that's about all I have to say about the set. Hopefully you got a good idea of what to expect from it if you were on the fence, or if you just kind of wanted to see what it looked like without spending the money. But hey, that's what we're here for. We spend the money so you don't have to. So again, I'm back with Geekscape Games, geekscape.net, at Inu Joshua on all social media platforms and gaming platforms. Feel free to drop me a line or add me on any of the game platforms. If you want to play Soul Calibur, just let me know. And until next time, we'll see you later, and stay tranquilo.